Hey Screen Rant fans, it's Ryan here with Rob.
Hi guys.
We're back at it again today with a brand new, freshly baked episode of Theory Battle.
And today we're diving into two theories about the MCU OG, Iron Man himself, Tony Stark.
If this is the first episode of Theory Battle you're checking out, here's a quick look at how these things go. Rob and I are each going to take turns presenting theories to you guys. We'll go through all the evidence and whatnot and why we think they could be true.
Then you guys in the YouTube comment section fight it out and decide which one you think is the most likely to be true.
Before we get into it, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That'll let you stay up to date with all our new videos, stuff like theory battles, pitch meetings, in-depth documentaries, and a whole lot more.
So Ryan, go ahead and kick this thing off with the first theory.
Don't mind if I do. So the theory I'm presenting says that Tony Stark is gonna mess with Loki's timeline. Now, we've been hearing a whole lot of time travel theories about Avengers 4, right?
So many.
And it makes sense that people would think that. Like, something so horrible happened at the end of Infinity War that people are like, okay, there's no way they're gonna have that be the way things actually play out. There's also just a wave of photos rolling in from Tom Holland on the set of Spider-Man Far From Home. So it's like, okay, clearly the snap is getting reversed and all those dead heroes are coming back to life.
Or maybe Peter Parker is a ghost in Far From Home. That would be a pretty cool twist.
Okay, yeah, now we definitely have to do a theory battle on which Marvel character is actually a ghost. My money's actually on Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I feel like that's cheating, but okay.
Anyway, back to the theory, there was also that time vortex tease at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp. And the biggest clue of all that Avengers 4 is a time travel movie is the fact that a series of set photos came out that seem to pretty clearly show some time traveling Avengers, you know? They look like they're at the Battle of New York, but Tony is older looking, Ant-Man is there even though he wasn't even around when that happened. You also have Captain America, Thor, and Loki in their original costumes from that battle.
Right, so assuming that this isn't some kind of fancy use of barf technology, those photos mean that some of the Avengers are gonna get all Marty McFly in the next movie.
Exactly, and the big question that sets up is why exactly they're doing that. The obvious answer to that, and the one that a lot of people seem to be going with, is that they're gonna hop through time and grab all the Infinity Stones before Thanos is able to get them. But if you start to think about that theory a little bit, it kind of all falls apart. You've seen those time travel movies where changing one tiny little thing in the past has a butterfly effect with crazy implications in the future, right?
Sure, like how Marty McFly starts to disappear if his parents don't fall in love.
Yeah, there's this huge butterfly effect that happens in the future when you change even small stuff in the past. Like somebody steps on a flower in the past and suddenly Logan Paul is the president in the future, or something crazy like that. So if tiny changes in the past can have massive implications on the future, imagine massive changes like snatching up Infinity Stones. It could basically unwrite Phase 2 and 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Maybe that's what they want.
You'd have superhero origin stories that play out completely differently though. The Time Stone was important to Doctor Strange's movie. The Guardians of the Galaxy banded together because of the Power Stone. You'd have no Ultron, no Vision, everything changes. And I don't think Marvel would play that card of just giving themselves a clean slate using time travel, you know? It's kind of an easy way out. Now, because time is such a fragile thing, and I think Marvel wants to preserve the cinematic universe they've been building this whole time, this theory says that Tony Stark is gonna go back in time and change some stuff, but he's gonna be much more surgical about it. He's gonna be super careful not to change anything except exactly what he wants to change. The reason behind this theory are some other set photos featuring Tony Stark wearing a SHIELD tactical vest. When those came out, people were like, oh cool, in the future Tony Stark is gonna become the director of SHIELD.
Like he does in the comics.
But digging a little deeper, those set photos seem to also be him revisiting the Battle of New York, because those set photos seem to be in the same building in which we've seen Marvel filming Thor with his long 2012 hair, along with Loki in his chains from the end of the Avengers movie. And that tactical vest that Tony's wearing is one we've actually seen before. It's the same kind of vest worn by the SHIELD unit that was assigned to guard Loki in the helicarrier, and those uniforms come with a face mask. So if Tony puts on one of these things, not only does he get to hide his identity, but he gets what this theory says he really wants: access to Loki.
He could just go grab his body that's floating around in space somewhere.
Yeah, if he wanted to steal his wallet or something, he could do that, but no, he needs the living version of Loki. And for those of you that were disappointed with how quickly and unceremoniously Loki was killed off in Infinity War, this is something you're probably gonna like, because the theory says that Tony Stark connecting with Loki in the past is gonna be key to defeating Thanos and reversing the snap. In order to save the day, Tony needs to get a private one-on-one with Loki, and this could be for one of two reasons. First off, it could be that he needs to get some crucial information from Loki about defeating or, say, locating Thanos. Or it could go the other way and be that Tony needs to give some crucial information to Loki that he can use at some point in the future. That second one is arguably the most interesting route for them to take, because it means that Tony Stark is putting his faith in Loki doing doing the right thing. This is an especially huge deal since he'd be talking to a past version of Loki who literally just invaded New York. So Tony would essentially have to take Thor's word for it that there's some good in Loki deep down.
Oh yeah, it's definitely deep down.
It could also be that Tony just scares Loki into helping him, you know? Like, hey man, I'm from a future in which Thanos snaps your neck. You wanna help me stop that from happening, buddy?
Solid motivation.
So what's your theory, Rob?
Well, my theory says that Tony and Thanos are cursed by the Mind Stone. So this theory comes from this Reddit user, Brosef2576, and it kind of builds off of this other theory that recently popped up, which said that the Mind Stone has been the secret villain of the MCU this entire time.
Oh, an evil rock. That's a new one.
It sounds kind of silly, but if you think about it, it could make sense that the stone has been influencing people this entire time. The original theory came from a Reddit user named Zaneman777, and he pointed out that whenever the Avengers have taken on some kind of major enemy, the Mind Stone has usually been involved somehow. Thanos had the Mind Stone before the events of the Avengers in 2012, right? He then gave it to Loki for the invasion of New York. And that entire movie, Thor kept saying that Loki was acting crazy. In the audience, we were like, well, Loki's the villain of this movie and he's acting like a villain, so that checks out. But Thor kept trying to plead with him like, dude, you're not acting like yourself. Do you need a Snickers bar or something?
I mean, he was pretty outlandish and evil in the first Thor movie too, but yeah, Thor did seem to think that Loki was acting weird in the Avengers.
Also in that movie, the heroes kept arguing with each other whenever they were near the stone. Bruce Banner even picked it up without realizing it and started getting super angry before Cap was like, dude, put the scepter down.
Now that you mention it, that did almost seem like something out of Lord of the Rings with the ring corrupting people and whatnot.
Then in Winter Soldier, S.H.I.E.L.D. aka Hydra is in possession of the Mind Stone. After hiding within S.H.I.E.L.D. for years and years, this is suddenly where they move forward with their plan of killing anyone they think is a threat. Then in Age of Ultron, you have Scarlet Witch who got her powers from the Mind Stone, and she basically compelled Tony to make Ultron using the Mind Stone. Then Ultron immediately wanted to kill everybody.
Well, what about Vision though? He seems to be super chill and he has the Mind Stone in his face.
Well, like someone pointed out in that Reddit thread, it's possible that the Mind Stone only corrupts people that are corruptible. Vision is made up of all the best parts of the people that created him. Right away, we see that he's worthy because he picks up Thor's hammer. So because he's so good and so worthy, the Mind Stone wouldn't have an effect on him. In fact, he can control it because it's part of him.
I guess that checks out.
And so what this theory focuses on is a particular line from Avengers Infinity War, and it may kind of reveal that the Mind Stone has done quite a number on Tony's mind as well as Thanos's. See, when Tony and Thanos meet for the first time, Thanos already knows Tony's name. So then obviously Tony's like, how do you know my name?
Fair question for sure.
And Thanos is like, I know your soul. It is much like mine, cursed with knowledge. In the audience, we were all like, yeah, okay, Tony is super smart and that's a cool line, so let's move on with the movie and not think about this too much. But what if there was a deeper meaning to that cool line? The theory from Brosef2576 says that the curse that Thanos is talking about actually comes from the Mind Stone. Basically, the Mind Stone would have cursed them both to become self-fulfilling prophecies of their greatest fears. Tony was shown a bunch of dead Avengers and an unstoppable alien invasion. That led him to becoming obsessed with protecting Earth, and in the process causing more damage than anyone could have imagined.
Yeah, he fully dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah, he created Ultron, which threatened to completely destroy the planet, and he disbanded the Avengers, which left the planet vulnerable to attack.
True, if it wasn't for how Tony behaved, the Avengers might have been a happy little team when Thanos rolled in, ready to kick a bunch of butt.
And it's easy to imagine that when Thanos had the Mind Stone before the MCU even started, he might have been given some kind of similar vision by it, like maybe the Mind Stone showed him a bunch of death and suffering and starvation. That essentially made him into the Mad Titan. He became this crazy dude who would kill billions of people to make sure that others wouldn't suffer and starve. Both Thanos and Tony did horrible things because the Mind Stone cursed them with the knowledge of some awful outcome that only they could prevent.
Man, if that's true, that is the most evil stone I've ever heard of. So now we're gonna go through a quick recap of these two theories so you guys at home can decide which one you think is the most likely to be true. My theory says that Tony is gonna mess with Loki's timeline. There are set photos showing Tony going undercover in the Battle of New York. He's wearing the same outfit as the S.H.I.E.L.D. unit that guarded Loki, and Tony's gonna try to get or give crucial information to Loki about Thanos.
And my theory says that Tony and Thanos are cursed by the Mind Stone. The Mind Stone was involved in every major threat the Avengers faced. Tony's Mind Stone vision led him to almost destroying the planet. The Mind Stone made both Tony and Thanos into self-fulfilling prophecies of their respective visions.
And now let's turn it over to you guys in the YouTube comments section. Which one of these two theories do you think is the most likely to be true?
Is Tony going to intercept Loki in the past, or were Thanos and Tony cursed by the Mind Stone? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below.
If this was your first episode of Theory Battle, we have a whole bunch more on the channel that you could check out. Also, if you liked this episode, please do give it a like and share it with your friends. See what they think about these theories.
And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all our new videos.
Thanks for watching and check back soon soon for a new episode. Bye-bye.